Hello, Internet. So earlier this week, I posted a video where I showed off some normal maps in my custom game engine, and I got really excited about posting it, and I got really excited about engaging with the game development community and getting feedback on the work that I'm doing. So I figure it would be nice to start posting semi-regularly, maybe every week or every other week, as I build in new features and just do stuff that I'm proud of. I think it's really valuable to be able to get feedback and to get insight from other people and to not develop in a bubble. And I find myself falling into that trap pretty often where I just want to sit down and put on my development gloves and have at it and do it my way. But a lot of the time my way isn't necessarily the best way or even a very good way. So hopefully I get to engage in the community a little bit more by posting, and we'll have some really nice conversations. So this week I just wanted to give a really brief overview of the GUI that I've been building for my engine. A lot of this is sort of um, trade-off between something that gives me good functionality and something that doesn't take a long time to build. I've learned that I don't have a lot of patience for building out user interfaces, so that's a lesson learned about what I like to do. But I am pretty proud of how well it's been working for me so far. So the main layout here is we have four real different components here. We have the main 3D view in the center, which as you can see is rendering some models that I've loaded in. And we have the scene tree on the left side here. And when I click items in the scene tree, I end up populating my component view on the right side here. And you'll notice that this is fairly similar to how game engines like Unity are laid out. I think they have a pretty good formula, and why try to break the mold if we have something that works. So I took some inspiration from their user interface, except as I said before, I don't really have too much patience for building things out. So what I have is SubWidgets here, each of which contains JSON information. JSON meaning JavaScript object notation, I want to say. But anyway, it's a text format that contains metadata about each of my objects, and that allows me to edit them in real time. So if I look at right now what I have, I can select my Siren model, which is the model for, I believe the character is Maya from Borderlands 2. And what I can do is I can tweak one of the scaling values on her, and I can make her twice as wide in her local X dimension. So, and that's just one example of just the parameters that you can tweak so far in the user interface here. It's been very helpful for me when I'm debugging. I don't have to go prowling through my code anymore and hard code in certain values for things and check if my models are loading in right and scaling right and going to the right place. So it's been really helpful to be able to quickly tweak a lot of these things from the interface. The last view I have in here is on the bottom left here, and that's the resource view. So that's just a breakdown of all of the, what I call resources, your textures, 3D models, everything that's been loaded into the scenario. And this is also for my own error checking, but is useful for the user as I add in more features like being able to add in new textures and models from the interface. And it is a nice way of tracking all of the resources that I've loaded in, and also tweaking their values as I can do with the components of the scene objects here. It's a nice way to be able to say, oh, well, you know what, I actually want to load in this texture. Let me see what that looks like on this model. So allows for quicker iteration when loading things in and building them. I think I'll stop there. I'm already pushing on 5 minutes, and I don't want to rant and rave too much. I'll get stuck in the nitty-gritty pretty easily. I tend to ramble on, so my friends and family tell me. So next week I'll plan on digging a bit more into maybe the more specifics about the JSON representation of my objects and how I'm trying to keep things fairly data-driven so that as development proceeds on with the game engine, nothing is hard-coded and things remain fairly easy to extend and adjust and adapt, especially as I add in, major new features of the engine, I want to make sure I don't fall into a trap of things assuming that they are done one way and not liking it when I try to do them another. So hopefully I haven't ranted and raved too much. Hope we can have some really cool conversations, and I'm looking forward to posting more. Until next time.